Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to our channel once again. There is something which I've consistently opined on this particular platform, that William Ruto is the easiest president to remove from office via the ballot. But the question has always been, who can remove William Ruto from office if elections were to be held in the Republic of Kenya today? Tell me, who do you think can easily defeat William Ruto? So far, I have a few names. Fred Matiang'i is planning to run for the presidency of the Republic of Kenya in 2027. Do you think Fred Matiang'i can launch a serious bid that can challenge or stop William Ruto's re-election bid? The other guy is none other than Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. Of course, Kalonzo Musyoka must be on the ballot in 2027 for him to survive, politically speaking. But is Kalonzo Musyoka prepared to challenge William Ruto in 2027? The other person who is also busy is none other than Okiya Omtatah. Okiya Omtatah is already making moves towards his bid for the presidency of the Republic of Kenya in 2027. Wajakoya the fifth also announced that he will be on the ballot. And I was talking to some guys and they asked me, Lee, what is Raila Odinga's game plan? Will Raila Odinga be running for the presidency of the Republic of Kenya again in 2027? My answer to them was that I was not very sure. But I know, based on the outcome of the African Union Commission chairmanship, Raila Odinga might come back. And you know, Raila Odinga is known as the master of comebacks. You might write him off, but then he will always find a strategy of making a comeback. But who can remove William Ruto? Which brings me to the topic for today. In this video today, I want to address William Ruto and why he must be worried in 2027. As much as there's nobody who can easily remove him, William Ruto can be removed from office by Kenyans. Kenyans can just say, we are tired and we are going to vote for anybody so long as William Ruto is out of the picture. Before we do all those, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, let us dive in. I strongly believe that William Ruto should be worried because I see trouble for William Ruto in 2025. And for us to understand that trouble, let us just take a very quick opinion poll here. If elections were to be held today, can you vote for William Ruto? If you can vote for William Ruto, just type in the comment section, Ruto tenor. If you can't vote for him, in the comment section, just write one-term loading. We want to see, so that we can demonstrate why William Ruto should actually be worried. But for me, I strongly believe that William Ruto is a man who is in deep trouble. And that's why William Ruto is making certain moves which you can't really understand. For example, why would William Ruto oversee, in quotes, the abductions of Kenyans? Because he's the president of the Republic of Kenya. Kenyans are being abducted. He might not be responsible, but as the president of the Republic of Kenya, he should be able to provide explanation. He should be able to tell Kenyans that, you know, these persons were abducted, broad daylight, and we've conducted our investigations. The vehicle which was used was this one here. The people who are in that vehicle are these ones here. So these are the measures we are taking. So William Ruto is doing a lot of things. Reaching out to Uhuru Kenyatta. There are even the stories that William Ruto is trying to reach out to Maina Njenga, of all the people, to salvage his bid. But I strongly believe that William Ruto is in a very big trouble and he should be worried. for the following reasons. Number one, William Ruto's ratings is very low at the moment. In fact, by the time we were ending 2024, William Ruto's ratings were at the lowest. I'm just imagining a situation where Raila Odinga was not with William Ruto, how his ratings would be. Because Raila Odinga kind of, in my view, stabilized William Ruto a bit. And why is William Ruto's ratings very low? Number one is the issue of corruption. I think Kenyans are better with William Ruto because he has failed to address the corruption issues. And that's why Kenyans were not surprised the other day when William Ruto was named as the second most corrupt president in the world. So for William Ruto's ratings to go up, he must do something about corruption, which I don't see him doing anytime soon. The other thing here is the promises. William Ruto made promises to Kenyans. You go to the mountain, William Ruto made a lot of promises to them. None of those promises have been met. So the people of the mountain who voted for William Ruto are currently very bitter and angry with him. Why? Because he made promises which he knew so well. Some of them were not going to be fulfilled. Of course, there's also the unemployment, which is making his ratings very low. So the question is, what can William Ruto do in 2025 to improve his ratings? Fight corruption, stop giving promises, create employment. Not the drama we are seeing people like the Cabinet Secretary for Labor, Alfred Mutua, going rounds in the name of conducting interviews, dishing out employment. No, Kenyans don't want that. Just provide a conducive environment for Kenyans to do businesses. Secure the 30% which was meant for youths. Ensure they go to the right youths. Youths will get out there. They'll start doing all these things, and their situation will change. And before William Ruto will know, his ratings will start going up. But I don't see William Ruto's ratings going up in 2025 unless certain things will happen. The second reason why William Ruto, in my view, should be worried is the Gen Z revolution. Let us call a spade a spade. If there are groups which will send William Ruto home in 2027, then it is the Gen Zs. I'm 100% sure that the revolution which they began was suppressed. And it might explode anytime. The Gen Zs might explode in 2025. Because I've studied the Gen Zs. These are a group of people who don't care. They're courageous. They're educated. If you go through the list of the young men who were abducted and released yesterday, almost all of them are graduates. Almost all of them. And jobless. That's a dangerous group. So, William Ruto is reacting to them after their protest through abductions. Let me assure you, these abductions are what is likely to take William Ruto home. If I were him, if he's not responsible, if I were him, I'd pursue whoever. But I doubt if whatever has been happening can happen without the hands of the government. So the Gen Zs are being abducted, and these abductions are winning them sympathy. These abductions are reinforcing their resolve. There's someone called Kibet Bull who was creating or generating those cartoons. There are others who are generating images and videos, some very funny, some you don't even wish. For example, putting Raila Odinga in a coffin or Ruto in a coffin, but they enjoy it. And those videos and pictures are trending. Why? Because they are ahead in terms of technology. They have brains. They cannot be lied to. So William Ruto must be worried. He's in deep trouble as a result of this Gen Z revolution. it will only be triggered a bit like this. I can assure you. So William Ruto must treat 2025 differently. Number three, why I think Ruto should be worried or is in trouble is that his strategy for 2027 is already exposed. He needed to work strategically without people realizing his strategy. Right now, anybody can easily tell you what William Ruto will do to try and win or rig in 2027. One of the things he's going to use is the police. We've seen William Ruto meeting brutality, William Ruto's government using police to brutalize Kenyans. So it means Kenyans have now known that we are going to go into the next election, but this guy is definitely going to unleash the police. Or as we move towards the next election, this man will be arresting us. He will be abducting us. So what do? They are tech savvy. So they look for strategies of maneuvering around the internet so that they'll be posting while in Kisumu here, but you, the government, will think these guys are in Dubai or someone else or somewhere else. And for me, that is something which should worry William Ruto, because his strategy, these guys already understand. Number four, if it's a tool which William Ruto used effectively in the last election, it's propaganda. Propaganda tools. Today in the Republic of Kenya, William Ruto has lost the war on propaganda. Itumbi is no longer the voice when it comes to propaganda. He has lost it. Can he recover? I doubt if William Ruto can recover. Why? Because William Ruto is dealing with Gen Zs. These Gen Zs are smart. They cannot be easily told lies. You know, in the last election, William Ruto used a bit of lies, a bit of propaganda, and a bit of facts. Now, you try to lie to Gen Zs, they just go, pick the fact, then they bring it to you. And for me, that is something which William Ruto will find it very difficult, because William Ruto cannot survive without telling the lies, without propaganda. These guys are now ahead of him when it comes to propaganda. And the biggest, in my view, worry for Ruto is the church. William Ruto used the church in the last election effectively. Effectively. It was perfect. I don't know what has happened, but currently we are seeing the church defying the president. We are seeing the church moving away from William Ruto, trying to correct their mistakes. For me, that is serious, because for William Ruto, he was a church candidate. He used the church to mobilize supporters. Ruto used the church to raise funds and to disseminate his information and spread propaganda on Raila. Now that the church is gone, what platform will he be using? And lastly, the narrative. You see, for William Ruto, in the last election, he came up with a narrative. And that narrative was simple. Simple narrative. The dynasty versus hustlers. Ruto became the darling of the hustlers. Today, William Ruto cannot stand before hustlers and tell them anything, because he has already lost that narrative. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what to think, but that's my take. And I know the strategy of Ruto is likely to use, in my view, Northern Kenya. was talking to a friend. He was telling me, Lee, people are being registered for IDs in northern Kenya. Very safe. You can argue that the Muslim community, they give birth. They have 4 wives. You have 1, like me. But they have 4. Yeah. You have 2, 3 kids. Then they have 6, 7 each. So if you have 4 and each have 5, 6 kids. So northern Kenya might save him. But William Ruto, I know for sure, is a man under siege. Until next time, this is Makwiny. Bye-bye.